Hello Port fans, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing a bit of a pre-season, off-season update, something you might have been missing over the course of the last few weeks. Well, we've had a bit of time off. It's been a hot minute since we've last spoke. I think the last time I put out a video was the Magic Round announcement for South Australia, which was fantastic for the States. I'm very much looking forward to that coming this next season in April. It's going to be a fantastic time for the state, and seeing every club playing in South Australia, whether it's at the Adelaide Oval or around the state, we'll be yet to find out. But when the fixture gets announced, I think it's early December, we'll know for sure exactly what's going to happen. But until then, we've got a lot to get through. There's still a draft to happen next week. So I thought, with the draft happening and the fixture yet to come, let's do a bit of an update to see exactly what's happened recently. So here is my off-season, pre-season update for you all. Where do we begin? There's actually been quite a lot going on at the club, even though we've had a bit of a break. Players have been travelling overseas and spending their time with their families and enjoying their break. Same with us supporters as well. We've been enjoying T20 World Cup that's been happening in Australia, the FIFA World Cup that's just been happening, and enjoying other sports, myself with Formula One. So it's been nice to just sit back and take a break from footy for a little bit, and I hope you're all enjoying a bit of an off season, getting ready for coming up to Christmas time. So make sure you have a very good Christmas as well, and I'm sure to give that a bit more presents when we get to the end of the year. But in terms of what's happened in the last couple of weeks, we've seen, well, let's start with Robbie Gray. He's going to be playing for the Doncaster Sharks in Victoria. That's a nice little update, fresh off the press for you this week. He's also taking a recruitment role at the Port Adelaide Football Club as well. So when he's not playing footy for the Doncaster Sharks, he'll be working with Port Adelaide, so it's great to have him still around at the footy club for next season. It's going to be great to see his insights, especially going into the draft and everything. He's picked out the likes of Zach Butters, so it's going to be great to see that occur. And speaking of Zach Butters and Robbie Gray, we saw the number 9 changeover. I personally wanted it to retire for a year because it's such an iconic number for Robbie Gray. But in saying that, if there's anyone that's going to take number 9 from him, it is Zach Butters, and it's fantastic that he's been able to be accepted for that number. It's similar to what Brad Ebert did with Xavier Dersma taking number 7. So it's great that these young characters are coming through the club, making such an impression on the elder generation players, and getting their opportunity to represent what great clubmen have been able to produce in number 9s. We've seen obviously Robbie Gray, the likes of Josh Carr, Jacob Surgeon. Players of that caliber throughout the years have really worn the number 9 to a T. We saw in the, we obviously had the trade period and everything like that. We did see the delisted free agency period. There was a lot of noise around who we might pick up, and we got the obvious in Francis Evans from Geelong, a 2-year deal. So it's very much looking forward to seeing Frank the Tank represent Port Adelaide next year. It's going to be a nice little addition to the development of our young small forwards, and also some depth for our playing group, and could very much take an opportunity to represent Port Adelaide in that circumstance. I think overall he's got the capabilities, he's got the forward craft, and we saw with limited opportunities at Geelong, he did take them, and unfortunately the better calibre at Geelong pushed him out of the club, and that's represented him with an opportunity at Port Adelaide. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing exactly what he can produce next year. I'm keen to see as well how he mixes with the likes of Junior Rioli, Orazio Fantasia, and maybe if he takes a step above, he might be to go above them as well. Combine that with Lockie Jones and Sam Powell-Pepper if they stick to their roles like last year. Francis Evans could be a massive get, and then don't forget Jed McEntee as well. So it's a nice little core group. I think they're a good mixture of small forwards, crafty forwards, and also pressure forwards as well. So nice little depth there for our playing group. We did see that the first of 4-year players started their pre-season on Monday. That's fresh off the press as well. And it was very nice to see, Josh Carr, who's been announced as assistant coach for Port Adelaide in the off-season as well. It's going to be absolutely fantastic to see him, trying to calibre a good midfield group and be a senior assistant to Ken Hinkley, and that can make all the difference in the world. He's got great experience in that area, North Adelaide coach, and then also being at Fremantle last year and being a senior assistant there under Justin Longmuir. So he brings a fresh voice to the club, but also he knows how Port Adelaide want to play. He knows what Port Adelaide is about, and I'm looking forward to him in the showdown because we haven't lost a showdown with Josh Carr on a ranking list. So be keen to see how that all pans out. But yeah, having Josh Carr there is going to really influence our midfield group, and I think he'll take a strong stance in exactly how we want to perform out of there. And I think it's having a midfield that's been kind of hit or miss lately. You throw in the additions of Jason Horne-Francis along with the likes of Wines and the newly developed and very impressive Connor Rosie. Zach Butters will go in there as well. I'm sure Xavier Dersman will find himself in there at some stage. Jackson Mead to produce and develop again. And then obviously my man Travis Spokes. So it's a great addition, Josh Carr, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can produce at Port Adelaide. And he's going to have a massive influence on the younger core group, as well as trying to create something different for the elders to make sure that midfield hits the spot next year. The AFLW awards occurred, and it was very nice to see all the ladies representing Port Adelaide at the awards. They were looking very nice, very fashionable. And I'm not the most fashion person going around in the world, but it was nice to see them all represented. And in particular, Hannah Ewings, she won the Rising Star for the AFLW. She's already a star before she even gets this award, but to get that recognition, I think, is absolutely hats off to her. And we know we've got a good one on our hands. It's a matter of keeping her and developing even further to become one of the best players, if not the best, in the AFLW. I think she's proven that with the generation that's coming through now as a younger type, you've had that few years of experience with the AFLW involved, and Port Adelaide obviously being the newer team, the expansion team. It might not showcase on the field that we are, in a prime position, but off the field with the caliber coming in and the more development that's happening behind the scenes, you can see why AFLW in season 7, 8, 9, and 10 and beyond is going to become even better for the competition, but also for these expansion clubs. And Hannah Ewings is a prime example of what happens when you put some effort into development, and she's going to be a rising star for so much more to come. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she can produce next AFLW season and along with the rest of the playing group, because I thought they were awesome. And I did state that in my AFLW season review. So check that out if you haven't already. And that's pretty much an update of what's been happening. If you've missed it across the socials, I think overall, pretty quiet off season. Nothing too much happening with the footy club other than those big news aspects of it all. And with the draft next week, we'll be taking our draft picks on Tuesday. So very much interested to see what we get with pick 33, pick 60, and if we use pick 84, that's completely down to what is available at that stage as well. And I think a lot of clubs will pass by that stage, so it could even bring the pick forward. So keen to see how that all pans out next week. I'll have a preview for that coming out on Sunday or Monday, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But overall, Port fans, it's going to be fun to see how it all pans out in the draft. But regardless, thank you very much for watching this pre-season update. Let me know what you've been up to and what you've been thinking about the footy club in this off-season. So, yeah, jump in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide AFL content to come your way in 2023. Nearly done for the year. And yeah, thank you very much for the support continually. We'll get to 5,000 subscribers next year, I'm sure. But overall, thanks very much for watching. My name's Anthony, and as always, count the pair.